Propel Fitness Water. With Gatorade electrolytes, zero sugar, and vitamins, Propel hydrates better than water to help you get the most out of your workout and get back to your best self. What propels you? Propel with Gatorade electrolytes.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach, a trip to the state fair, and a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey everybody, welcome to Coach Unplugged. So excited you decided to join us today. Before I jump into the podcast, go over and leave a 5-star review. We really love those reviews. Leave some comments. I read all of them and we would really appreciate that. But before we get started, I definitely want to give a big shout out to our two sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shooting machine on the market, bar none. Mention Coach Unplugged, you get $450 off and you'll get the best customer service you'll ever expect. Just mention Coach Collins and they'll take really good care of you. Also, go over and check out tryouts.com for coaches who want to get better. It is the one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's something, you know, when I started teachhoops.com, it was what I would have wanted as a young coach before, you know, all the state championships and all the nationally ranked teams that I've coached. And not to brag, just to kind of tell kind of my journey, I would have killed for this stuff because it would have made my life so much easier. A little bit of everything that you need to become a better basketball coach. And we are the only people out there that offer 14-day free trial because we believe in it so much. Follow the roadmap, work on your craft, and you get me one-on-one mentoring. So I can't imagine anything better than that. I don't know. Anyway, go over and check it out and let's head off to the podcast. All right. So I'm going to, if we talk about any X and O stuff, I'm taping this and I'll diagram it up, even though I'll talk through it because you both are on the phone. But then if you need to go back and look at it, I'll put it on Schoology so you can look at it.
We are making a lot of mistakes and still winning by 30, 40 points a game. So,
ooh, that's hard.
That's really hard to get kids to understand.
Yeah.
That's the kind of conversation I want to have because you had some really talented teams when you had like Wes and those guys. I don't know who you played early on, but like, you know, the Wisconsin Collegiate Conference is broken up into the West and East. The East is far better than the West.
Right.
We played UW Center, and we just got done playing Marshfield, and we beat Marshfield 162. So, you know, but we made so many mistakes.
Right.
You know, and we're really young. We're very talented. And my question is, how do you get these guys to understand that they got so much more?
Right.
To be able to,
it's really hard. So the question is, what do you do when you're beating somebody by so many points? And some of my teams. I've had teams like this. You win by 30 and 40. So I am under the philosophy that you can have teachable moments and you can learn winning. I'd rather learn winning than losing. That's my personal opinion. But this is where film really comes into play. And it's, in my opinion, I think this is it's a lot easier to call guys out when you're winning, and it's a lot easier to be harder in film sessions when you're winning than when you're losing.
Okay.
So I would spend a lot of time on film, a lot of time on this, you know, and we go through our film and we rank shots. Like, you know, a scale of 1 to that's a 3 shot, that's a 9 shot, you know, and we'll call them out. And it's definitely you know, it's fragile. I was just reading an article about Paul Christ and the UW football coach, and he says we live in a world where the yelling at the kids doesn't work as well as it used to. What works is things like this and putting their butt on a bench because that gets their attention. You know, yelling at them, it's like they just kind of like, oh, you're picking on me, or, you know, we live in a world where you can't do that. But the teams that I've had that have been really good and that we knew we were going to win 80% of our games by just showing up.
That's the way I feel like this team is but like in our school history, we've never won a state championship, and this
Right.
is a group where I feel like we could do it.
Right.
But my concern is we need to learn how to win when we play some really good teams, you know. And so,
Okay.
Well, the one thing that's in your favor, at least you don't have a shot clock. So try being in that situation with this shot clock where at least if you have no shot clock, you can work on stuff, but now
Right.
have that same situation where you're up and you have a 30-second shot clock. So now you're trying to execute on maybe sets you don't normally run, but you still have to get a clean shot off when it starts cutting down. So you got basically, you figure 5 to 6 seconds to bring the ball up, and now you want to use another 8 or 10 to at least run one good set, and now you're scrambling. So it causes a whole set of new problems for you.
The shot clock. We don't have that in our high school yet, but yeah, that small amount of time that it can do it is crazy. But I would do a lot of film.
So I checked out some shuffle sets, and
Okay.
I'm trying to incorporate some sort of shuffle into motion. And just in what's online and the basketball IQ of some of my guys,
Right.
it can be a little complex for them, I think, to kind of pull off. I think we even run, some of these guys have issues being in the right spot and flex, let alone trying to throw some new shuffle sets.
Well, and the thing is, I've noticed with shuffle and read and react and some of those other things, it takes. I mean, we're in our second year of read and react, or maybe second and 2.5 years, and we're just getting to the point where we're running it well. Because there's so many nuances to the offenses that if you run a structured one, there isn't as many nuances, but with a structured offense, there are so many new ones that it's crazy. So I'm not sure what the answer to that is.
Can I ask you, what are some of your?
No, it's right. You know what? I ended up probably along your lines. I talked to my assistant coach about it today, and we're like, we have to find a way to get some of these sets in, even if it takes a couple years at the sacrifice of our older guys, because our younger guys actually, their IQ is off the chart. Some of the freshmen, which is awesome to see. Like the relationship we have now with some of the youth programs around here has kind of helped us. So we even said, listen, at the benefit, at the sacrifice of some of our older guys that we may struggle this year, at least for the younger kids in a year or 2 years, that's like our matchup zones where we struggle a little bit there. But by the time these kids are in the right spots, it should be okay.
Right. And you got to kind of look at, if you run a program, it doesn't matter what kind of program it is. If you're running a program, you got to go, okay, because I'm already looking at my freshmen and my 8th graders, my 7th graders going, okay, what do we need to implement for them to be successful? I think it's silly to wait and see. It's like, what's going to make us most successful over the next, stretch? And I think that's what you really have to do. And why are you moving to the shuffle?
Well, I feel like, not like you said, not unlike the read and react, I feel like there are different layers that you can, once you get the base down, then there's all sorts of stuff you can run off it, and you can get, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 100 layers deep into the thing. And I don't have, I'm curious about my ball handling capabilities coming up, and I think my 3 is actually one of my better players, and the ball is in his hand on most of that shuffle stuff.
Okay.
Might help us kind of move this along a little bit.
Okay. So you like that movement better?
I do. We do some motion sets too, but no, I do. I like it. I like it a lot. You know what I do is I like that. I guess for lack of a better term, I like that corner that I still think people fall asleep on.
Say that again.
And I know you broke up.
You broke up. I didn't hear that. Your corner what?
Sorry about that. That weak side cut that's almost like a flex screen.
Yeah, okay.
It's almost like a UCLA cut. I like anything off the ball farthest away from the ball handler.
Yeah.
You seem to get some open looks, and I thought some of that shuffle stuff had the best cuts. They weren't necessarily wheel, but they were a bit more flex-like cuts that I think we got actually some good looks off of, or we will. Because this year we have a very good ball handler, but we haven't traditionally.
Okay.
And so people overcommit on our guys so much.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean,
Plus, we don't
just
see it a lot. I mean, I don't
go ahead.
down here. So I think, I don't think there's not many programs here that run it, which is also.
Yeah, my theory about it, if people aren't running it, then they don't practice against it, and then they're not as good against it. I'm a firm believer in that.
That's the plan. The plan.
It's like if everyone's running, motion or swing or dribble drive, then I'm not doing it. I'm doing something else, unless it's exactly perfect for my guys. So, I mean, it depends, but I'm definitely not doing that. All right. John, do you have any questions? Can you hear me? Hold on. We got to come to questions. Anybody else with questions? As the crickets come across. I was going to do.
Well, it's funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. I was just fixing my mic.
No, it's funny because we're, because we haven't started yet, right? So we have our interscholastic meeting, and it's funny to hear the optimism in everyone's voice. This right before tryouts is possibly the most exciting part of the year for all of us, I think. And it is funny how, like we come, we've had our coaches meetings, right? And
right.
The fact that we decided let's run shuffle where, because nobody else runs it, and then I could already see week 3 going, all right, run whatever our sets, I don't know. Right.
Well, and we're at the end. See, I'm in the other. We just finished our first week, so I brought the boys in really early this morning. It was like 7 a.m. because I wanted a really good practice in, and I'm feeling. And we have a scrimmage on Wednesday. And we have a game on Saturday, a week from today. And I'm like scrambling going, oh, my God. We're just throwing stuff in so I can say it's in, and then we can start tweaking it. It's like I was telling my assistant, it's like we just need to get stuff put in. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be like in March, but we got to put it in so we can at least see it in against another opponent. It's like, so I'm in the freak out mode. It's like you go from the happy mode to the freak out mode.
So the panic mode.
The panic mode.
Yeah.
Like,
this is what I want to ask. Actually, I'd be curious to get your view on two-a-days for basketball, and if you do it, what your thoughts are. Does it beat up the kids a little bit?
I only do it. I do 2-a-days early. I will do 2-a-days over winter break or over a break that we have if need be. I'm also a taper. I'm a big believer in tapering. So my practices gets much shorter, intense and shorter as the season goes on. I do morning, afternoon, and then I pick my team. If I don't know who my team is after 4 tryouts, I'm not very good. So I don't need to try out for a week and figure out who my team is. So That's how we do it. We only do 2-a-days for 2 days, and then it will depend on situational stuff if we need to work on something. But those morning things, they don't. At least high school boys don't go to bed. So me getting them up, it's going to make them sick. Nothing good's going to come from me trying to beat them up at 6 a.m. And I mean they were zombies today. So it was like we were basically having a cerebral practice today. That's what I told.
Got it. That makes sense. Yeah, we do the same thing. We taper. It actually, not only does it help, I think you get, I'd rather have a good hour and a half right after it, practice.
I agree.
And then, film and all the other stuff and scout, that's fine. But it's way more beneficial for us anyway.
I lost my mic here. We're good. All right. Other questions?
Hey, Steve. This is Bob Verdusco.
Hey, Bob. How are you?
Good. I had a question on the read and react.
Okay.
When you're running 4 out.
Yep.
You were talking about on one of your podcasts how the post exits or how he moves. I was trying to visualize the diagram.
Okay, so you're I'm gonna hold on, I'm gonna diagram this up. So hold on one second. So you're talking about. So we've got. This is the worst 3-point line I've ever seen. So you've got guys at those 4 spots. Where's my?
Now I'm on the phone call.
You are on the phone, so I'm going to diagram it. I'm going to diagram it for me, and then I'll just talk to it, and then you can look at it later. Okay. So you're talking about 4 spots outside, right?
Yep.
And then where's the 5th guy?
Well, you were talking about the best place to start him is to say go from the mid post to the high post.
I do. I think it's in the free throw line extended area.
Okay.
Is this somebody that can't step outside 12 feet? Is that why you're putting them inside?
Right.
Yeah. So I would leave them. So I would leave them in that high post range into free throw area. So when you eventually watch this, you'll see it. I'll just kind of circle the area. That's the area that he and the area that they should step out and set screens is basically free throw line 2 or 3 feet above it, 2 or 3 feet below it. And then then every time they set a screen, they should slip and roll back to that position.
Gotcha.
So that will be the hard thing. If they double, if they do anything on that screen, it is what it is. But for the most part, if you slip it, then the other 4 guys basically got to fill the spots. The spots will be a little bit wider. So you know how the 2 are on the baseline, they can actually step up a little bit rather than be on the baseline. The 5 spots in the read and react are like the 2 baselines, the 2 wings in the top of the key.
Right.
You can basically shift those guys up a little bit and shift, the top 2 guys side to side. So they don't necessarily see. It's almost like a 2-2 rather than a 1-2-2. If you think about where the normal spots are. So that will leave more space for flashes, for drives, for things like that. Does that make sense?
Now, can I go from a 5 out to a 4 out within at the same time, like different times down the court?
Yeah, that probably has to do with the big person. I would have a call for it probably. If that person's in, then I would just always run 4 out. That's the way I've done it.
So
the rules are going to be the same for the other 4. The only rules that's going to change is for the person in that high post.
Okay.
The rest of them is they're going to pass, they're going to cut, they're going to replace, they're going to find one of those spots. If you pass there, we're going to get a double screen away, we're going to get a slip, those kind of things on that, like that little sheet I sent you.
Yeah. So if I did do the 5 out, does that mean that every one of those 5 have to be able to shoot from 12 feet or beyond?
Not necessarily. So what they're going to do is they're probably going to sag on that one, which is fine because it's really hard to guard somebody that, as long as they're flashing to the basket and still cutting hard, it's okay. It's just they're always a release too. So if they sag, they can never pressure you, right? So we've always used that person as the kind of the press release. So maybe you're going to come at us and you're going to pressure us and do whatever. That's fine, but you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to do that at all if you're sagging into the lane on the guy when he catches the ball. So it's that hard twist for kids to go from playing normal man to sagging to normal man to sagging to normal man. That's hard.
Gotcha.
So I always use that person. If they step up high to the top of the key or do something like that, they'll always be open and they can always be a ball reversal. And if you don't have shot clock, hell, you could take a minute off the clock if you needed to.
Gotcha. And then if you wouldn't mind, Steve, by the way, I get this diagram on Facebook or?
No, I'll put it on Schoology. I'll put it in office hours on Schoology. So sometime tonight I'll load this baby up and just label it.
And if you can also draw up, you explained it to me, but I didn't quite follow it, your Sussex.
Yep. So I'll erase. So the Sussex is on the 5 out. So I'm going to grab my eraser here. So the Sussex is on, so we're for the people that are listening and not watching, Sussex is a specific screen and read and react that we kind of do. So hold on, let me grab this. So there's 5 spots that we're going to fill: the top of the key, the 2 wings, and the 2 baselines. So then what happens is when the ball's passed from the top, and we don't always run the Sussex. We'll sometimes run a single, but double's really hard. So the ball goes from the top to a wing. Then we get a double screen away. So the 2 guys opposite will go screen. And then one of them he'll come up and try to get the ball. So the baseline guy will come and get the ball. He'll cut all the way up. And then one of the 2 guys setting the screen, it can be either a staggered screen or it can be a double screen. One of those 2 will slip and roll back to the basket because there'll be all that space in the basket that will be wide open. So if you're people that are listening,
do you have a call?
Yeah, go ahead.
You have a call for it, or
I don't. We just automatically do double. Whenever we start, and we always automatically do that because it's not defendable. It's an automatic call. And then what we do is once people start cheating on it, they'll switch, and that's why you put the slip in. So that's the first thing, and then sometimes we'll only do a single. So when people start cheating, we're playing them the second round, and they're switching those screens. Great, go ahead. Then we're gonna just pass to the wing and do a single screen and do a slip, and then that bottom guy will kind of rise up. So, I mean, there's tweaks they're gonna have because people will start switching. You double screen enough, people will start switching it. Great. Then we're gonna slip it.
Yeah.
And then the slip takes care. So you got to either decide what you're going to take away. Are you going to protect the basket? Because that open area in read and react, that paint area is so wide open that that you got to pick your poison, to be honest with you.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you see it, it will be better. If not, we can get on again. I'm going to get. I know you wanted to see some film of us running a read and react, and one of my assistant coaches pulling that up, so I'll get that to you too because I know you wanted to see what that looked like.
Well, actually, YouTube has 5 minutes of read and react in live game.
It does.
High school and college.
Okay. And it won't have the Sussex. It won't have some of the screening stuff that I think that I have found you need.
Right.
Because otherwise it's all cutting, which is fine.
Right.
But that's why I put in the Sussex cut. That's why I put in the single screen cut. Just because I felt like we needed something else other than, if you're too monotonous and people can kind of figure it out and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now I also see you have 3 dribbles max.
I do.
That's
so this year,
cool.
Last year I had like 1. This year I have 3. I'm not running. Dribble drive is a whole different offense, which is fine. You can, I guess you could morph read and react and dribble drive. My theory is they don't need to dribble unless they're attacking they don't even need more than 3 dribbles if they're attacking the rim. The problem is at today's practice, I was already yelling at them today's practice because what happens, they catch it and then they dribble it for no reason. It's like, why are you dribbling? So the 3 is kind of like, okay, I'm letting you dribble, but you better do something with the dribble. So it's kind of reinforcing that, go ahead and dribble, but what are you going to do with it?
Right.
Otherwise they're just dribbling. It's like, that's, my nephew's 7 can dribble. That doesn't, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Other questions? John's being quiet. Is he muted? No. What about you? Anything else? I'm gonna go tonight. I'm gonna diagram up. Harmony emailed me and she wants me to diagram up my chair zone offense. I'm gonna do that a little bit. Somebody asked.
I got a question, Steve.
Yep. Go ahead.
On those, you sent me some quick hitters off of 5th, I think.
Yes. Did I? Yes.
Or I think it was. Just teach those separate from read and react.
Yes, those are just like 1 or 2 like boom boom. I got to score things. Yes.
Gotcha. And you make a call and they do it.
Yep. And to be honest with you, I'll tell you right now, we've been practicing since Monday. It's Saturday. We've put none of those in because I've been just building the foundation. And then when we put a couple out of bounds plays in, we worked on our press breaks, but I haven't put anything like that in just because I'm keep reiterating how cutting, feeling the spots, all that kind of stuff. The quick hitter.
Now, how about?
Go ahead.
I saw there's 6 or 7 in a series of read and react drills.
Yep.
Are those pretty good?
Yeah,
I got them online.
Yeah, those are really good. The thing is, you gotta actually play a game or scrimmage to kind of see what, like, we're gonna scrimmage on Wednesday, and I'll know, like, oh crud, we're not replacing, or we're not doing our cuts to the bat. You see, you can't. I mean, the drills are fine. The point is, I don't really want to waste any time drilling on stuff that I don't think we need to turn on, and until we go to battle. You know what I'm saying? So I would wait on that. I would just keep working on it. And then after your first or second game or your scrimmage or whatever, you'll have a better sense of we're not very good at this, or we are really good at this. I mean, that's just the way I've always done it. It's like, I mean, we've been and this is crazy if you think about it. And I've morphed over the last 10 to 15 years of those. We've done, and I've said this before, we've done very little individual work in this first week. It's been all team stuff. It's been like, if you can't dribble or you can't, I mean, we just don't have time right now. That stuff comes later in the season, and when we're hopefully a better oiled machine at that point. But I don't know. We'll see.
And then you have an X pick when you pass to the low post. What's an X pick?
Just a cross screen pick. So it's finding the opposite guy. So just going to that opposite block. And then worst case scenario, because I know you got a game. Worst case scenario is you run read and react against a zone too. We put in one of our more complicated zone offenses today, and they were lost. And then we put in flash, which wasn't as difficult, and they seemed to get it. But it's like worst case is you can always run read and react, because there's the thing with zones is they don't like cutting and they don't like people moving through them. So that's the worst case scenario, is you're not good enough. Or you don't have it in, or it's not very effective, whatever. I mean, I would not lose any sleep over that. There's lots of other things to lose sleep over.
You mean your zone offense?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Unless you're going to see a 1-3-1, unless you're going to see a 2-3.
Gotcha.
I won't worry about it.
Yep. And you said you had your press break stuff on Schoology?
I do. It's under, it will be under those lessons and stuff. I don't think it's under the mini lessons. I think it's just under those long ones. And go watch that. And if you don't like any of those, I've got a couple new ones I've put in. I've got one I call Brady. I don't know why I should call it Favre or something, but I call it Brady. But where we send somebody deep, and then we have people coming forward. Some people are cheating a little bit. But again, I think I sent you a clip of us practicing the cutting in practice.
Yeah, I did. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's the key cut. That cut is undefendable. We work on that cut all the time. And for those of you that are listening, it's that cut across the front of the face. Because the defender, when you're getting pressed, will always defend their basket. So you can always do the diagonal cut across the front of the face. And I sent you we had talked early in the week, and I sent you a clip because I knew you were talking about press breaks. And it's like just cross cut. And, and we work, the key to that is we work on catching and squaring up and not traveling. Because that's a big, they get going too fast and they travel. Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you subscribe and like no matter where you listen. Apple, Spotify. We love those 5-star reviews. Make sure you also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.